Okay, everybody, let's get to it for Thursday. A lot to discuss, big stuff happening in the tech world. I think this is something I tweeted about an hour or two ago, this major move in Microsoft, and I think that's probably the place where we start today because this is a big event day. Think of it that way, with Microsoft reaching this target 2, which was 295. And that's huge. And the way that it's doing it is extremely indicative of what this trend is all about. So big shout out, everybody. Thanks again for showing up. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, talking harmonic patterns. And these are big harmonic patterns, no doubt. A couple other developments in the QQQ, SPY, and crypto that are all giving us some counter signals we need to look at. Excuse me, this is going to be an hour with coffee. Anyway, today with Microsoft and a bunch of the tech earnings, I think there are huge levels that we've talked about that are now getting hit, that are playing out well, and we look at that, all of these levels, as kind of mandatory minimums. They can go well beyond them, but we've reached a lot of objectives that are minimums, and they're doing it in strong fashion. Really quick, the Fang is fairly impressive, although, you know, we go to Meta, and Meta, Amazon, even Apple doing things, but look, Meta is, within a hair of the 242.14 target we talked about for a long time. Remember being back down here at the hop and thinking it was going out of business? Good luck. The daily chart is a little bit slightly different with price levels, essentially same pattern, 251. That's easy. I think Meta can continue from here and go to that 250. If not, go to target 2 later in the summer, because we're seeing that happen. We're seeing it in Microsoft, which is leading the way, and you're seeing it in other of the big mega cap tech, Google. We're just going to be printing patterns here left and right. And this deep crab, it's not as big as the other daily stuff, but remember me talking about 93.33, 93.33. I said that many times, even that was just 6 weeks ago. Consider yourself a minimum target 2 objective, 111.28 off of that pattern. Doesn't stop until at least there. And the thing that you want to really take away from this is that despite the length of time it took, the pattern framework has stuck across the board with all of these. Maybe one lesser extension, but there's probably an opportunity there. Here's Amazon. Same deal. Big deep crab down here. Around 94 has been the big level, even though it got a little lower. Amazon 122.79. And don't stop. Don't stop until you get up there. So this is a pretty good reaction to all the earnings, and the thing is, you're not going lower. You're not going lower or following through. We talked about the Qs with the big numbers at the 317, 318 level. Now we have something that's happening today. It wasn't registering 2 days ago, but it is today. And we're looking at that daily HSI counter bullish signal in a bearish zone, and it's on a type 2. So if you don't know what that means, I'm going to break it down really easy. We have a bullish signal in a bearish pattern zone, and we always use that as caution. That's the arrow. Okay, still early in here, but the arrow is the HSI arrow that relates to right there, to that indicator. That's Harmonic Strength Index. If you're in this zone and you produce that counter arrow, well, that's going to require more time for this whole bearish resistance to work out, as it has been doing since 23rd of March, 21st of March. It's a sideways grind. If now maybe back up, and I'm going to say maybe as high as 329, which links up with what Microsoft's doing, Amazon's doing, Google's doing. These are big patterns, just really within a stone's throw reach of major levels that are like acting as minimums, and then you see something like Microsoft blow up with just a massive engulfing candle that has major implications going forward, especially with patterns like this looking left. And recall, even on the weekly for the Qs here, we did have a weekly pattern as well. And I'm looking at off of this butterfly. We had target 1 at 311, and we do even have a yellow dot. What does that mean? Well, helps to confirm the area. So the yellow dot and that confirmation is saying more like, okay, maybe it's retest of last week's high around 321, but it's still up for now. That correction, that reaction that started at the beginning of the week, that just didn't get any follow through. And with this daily register that just happened, I mean, that's the whole thing. That, let me come back to this, because yeah, last week and 2 days ago, we were saying, look for the rollover. But what happened just in the last literally 24 hours, 48 hours is you've got a strong enough individual dump to take enough air out of the tire to where it's saying, okay, this isn't going to do much on this move. And you're going to register this on the close. All right, so that's not valid until 4 o'clock today. But it's there. And we'll, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to jump over to crypto and we'll look at those exact same Bitcoin signals. Listen, before we go any further, everybody get over to harmonictrader.com and get, just the main purpose is get with this software, the TradingView program at a minimum. I encourage you to try all of the other platforms here of Harmonic Pattern Collection. And this is on the basic members page. But send your username, your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And for those that are new, again, Harmonic Trader, register now. And you get on this program. And this is a proprietary signal, but listen, you don't have to spend much time to see the relationships of this stuff popping over and over again to where we respect it. We use the patterns to define the levels, and I think everyone's, again, doesn't really have to go far to see how precise the levels are, but we still need confirmation and gauge the price action, because that's the randomness of the market. We see something like this, okay, the read on the market is this is not going down now, and this whole structure needs a higher test. So, take that for what you want going into the next couple of weeks. I would think stuff like the Qs, 5-minute patterns. Do we have any midday 5-minute setup going on right now? Nope. No, this is just pretty much straight up. Look, you had a couple of signals in the pre-market, and I just think with this kind of a breakout where you are, especially on the daily time frame, you're going to continue higher. Go back. The other thing we had here on the 4-hour was this really crazy Gartley that, 318.50. I'll watch that. It was a really difficult Gartley to trade, and had a really nice reaction. That was something not too bad, but then the dump back down to the hop level had no confirmation. Structurally, I thought this would at least hold for a little while, and same with S&P 500. But if we're going to really break out today, it's got to bust through 318.50 and then just continue new highs all day. Really quick, let me show you that SPY chart, because the SPY has done the same thing daily with an oversold trigger. There you go. So pretty high level of this green arrow pointing up. I'm not saying explosion breakout yet. All I'm saying is that this grind, and it's a real grind since January, this kind of a inability to break out, but it still wants to push higher where your other levels are printing, 423. I wouldn't be surprised to see just a nominal retest of about 414.60, and that has been our trigger number. I updated members on that right before the drop, but this whole correction let out a lot of air, surprising amount, and just in the last 48 hours. So consider that kind of this character assessment of what we can consider, because everyone's wanting this thing to blow out, break out, start to moon. Is it a bear market or bull market? What is it going to do? I think this is the start of something based on things like Microsoft. So keep an eye on all that. I mean, it's really, it's surprising. And then you look at things like, you go to those boring stocks like the Dow stocks, things like McDonald's here, breaking out to all-time new highs. And look at this. Look at this on McDonald's. This is something again, really interesting that even the harmonics playing out on weekly or even monthly tell you that, hey, this didn't even give you a reaction off the butterfly. Now you are well above the hop at 285. You need to register some kind of bearish signal. Let me come back to this. There you go. And where you are on the weekly with that, expanding, continuing to kind of make new highs in the whole reading of what that outlook. So, it's certainly not a short opportunity yet, and it's saying it's pretty strong. Let me come back to Microsoft because that's where I started. And I think this is now probably the most important individual stock for the macro period. And the only possibility above 295 is a full shark pattern. Minimum 886 is around 330, but this is taking on a shark structure if we connect the dots. It's a run at the all-time new highs. It's not 300, okay, on Microsoft. We're going to run to 330, 340. We're going to try to make a shot to all-time new highs here, and that will probably drag a heck of a lot of stocks with it. Because it's clear this thing is just since the pattern, and we had several things down here at the 210, 220 level back in September, October. Then we had like one more retest down at 220. There's nothing there that's generated any kind of concern. You're nowhere near, here are the indicators, where HSI, not even close. And look at the HSI trend since the low. That's as strong as you can get. That's the kind of trend you want to see. And then amplified RSI, that's our fastest indicator. Well, that's back in the overbought, about to break up into that zone. That all of that pushes higher. And I think that helps out both Nasdaq, S&P, and even, it's going to help the Dow too. I say that while S&P is up 50 at the moment, about cracking into new highs for the day. Nice stuff. Nasdaq's up 273. Dow's up 304. Don't want to spend too much time on the Dow, but those stocks are moving. And I think if Dow breaks out, again, the Dow needs to get above 3 on the diamonds, 345. That's essentially, you need to see a big breakout in the Dow above 34,500, 35,000. You are sitting here at a target too off of the bat pattern. This one played out actually even better than the Nasdaq structure or the S&P because you had a type 1, you had a type 2, but you're sitting there with resistance at target 2. You treat that the same way. If that was a 5-minute pattern, you would treat it the same way. I would just run a longer term trend line. Think of the Dow kind of like this off of that secondary low. As long as you maintain that trend line, yeah, you'll break it out. You'll make that new highs maybe later this summer. And then last year was nothing but a blip. Seemed like it. Seems like that's where they're taking it. I think that's good for macro, long-term macro. And remember what I said also last week. We're going to have major monthly closes that you go on most of your charts. Last year you got registered clear oversold readings by June, July, August of last year, stabilized, and now this thing's turning around. It's going to take 1 or 2 candle, a 3-bar breakout, pretty much whatever the next 3-bar breakout is. For the Dow, that's a close above 34,200. Be super conservative, say 34,500. But don't be surprised if it happens because Microsoft's showing you the way. I mean, really, it's and Meta too. They dumped it, left it for dead. Don't move. Well, you know how I've been on all of those. The one of all those patterns that I've outlined, the one that is still lagging, but there might be an opportunity here, is Tesla. Okay, look at the weekly structure. Okay, this bat pattern, I was saying just on Tuesday, I was saying maybe we get a pullback to this XA level on the weekly at 127. Still a possibility, but then I showed you this daily shark, and will likely have confirmation today. So that's the big thing, looking for daily bullish indicator confirmation. That will happen on the close. Your hop is at 155. Maybe this thing isn't as strong as Microsoft, but this might be a spot where you look for a short-term low. It is a 2 of 2 off the shark. So if those other ones are going to run, hey, it's going to be, they're going to jump in and run all of them. Let's look at one or two that are kind of new that I'm definitely on at the moment. Find this pretty interesting. Qualcomm, right around 113. And that's kind of an update for members too. You guys know what I'm talking about, but it's a 2 of 2. And even in a short-term setup daily, this isn't as powerful as maybe the weekly chart of Microsoft. I'm looking here, 113 back for the target 2 to 131. Keep an eye on that one. And then here's something really boring, semiconductor boring. Intel. Check this out. Okay, a couple of back-to-back patterns. This is this Gartley. I'm looking for the next HSI on the bullish side because I'm going to treat that as a reaction. Looking for HSI to pop out of here. And probably, where's that? Yeah, here you go. So we've got really a deep crab down here. You've got a big weekly pattern down here on Intel. Not nearly as I think aggressive or as strong as say Microsoft or Meta, but it's another example of a big mega tech, mega cap tech with a big weekly pattern. I think anywhere $28 or under there, between 26, 28. You got to look at that as an opportunity. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, a couple of the banks before I jump over to crypto. Let me show you one or two of the bank ideas. So I've been looking at a bunch of these like PNC here. Really nice, right at 125. Been saying that for about 2 or 3 weeks. This is a couple of patterns. It's a weekly crab pattern down there. It's a 2 of 2 on this daily structure. And check out where yellow dot came in, right at 118.50, 118.60. So that's one. The other one is Bank of America, but I kind of updated that to members last week where it did this beautiful butterfly. And it's just a type 1. It was a perfect reaction to 30. Again, that's, it's so common with the first test of all patterns where you're looking for the reaction. I mean, the reaction is the inherent move of every pattern completion on the first time. And even the, reactions in general, they don't have to just be type 1s, but like a type 2 return where you come back to retest. That's its own type of reaction. All right, it should happen pretty quickly in a segmented fashion versus something that's like a reversal. It's going to extend and give you more time. For Bank of America, I think we come back to 26.47 again. I updated that. Not all the banks are the same. I did have First Republic as an idea, but for members, but this was after earnings. I wanted to see what happened, and it crashed. They just crashed it after the earnings. I posted that last week, but look, You have a big crab pattern down here, but where's the trigger? And I was literally looking around 13.50, 14 bucks after the earnings, and it just sliced right through. So there was no move on that. I think on the 5 minute, I mean, it's been trading sick, just sick action. Been some nice patterns on the 5 minute. Yeah, I saw this yesterday. I didn't want to touch it, but bat pattern right at $5, go right back to back actually, and now bearish bat around 677. I wouldn't, I think this thing is going to probably wake up one Monday morning in under possession of the government, in possession of the government. But there are some nice 5 minute setups happening on those major stocks. Here we go, pushing highs of the day. Really nice. Let's do it. Let's jump to crypto. Okay. Want to go start with Bitcoin at the top. And if you recall, what we talked about on Tuesday was the HSI signal that was generated here. There's the arrow. There's both my arrows. Please watch Tuesday's session. We were really clear looking for this to come out and pivot. And once it got out, yeah, it pivoted. And not only did it pivot, it checked back perfectly. Let me clean this up. And then gave us a yellow dot yesterday. And they slammed it. You know, this one, Bitcoin ran to 30,000. They slammed it down. Still managed to get a bullish candle on the close. That's a great sign. Gives you the yellow dot. This is exactly the end of the reaction that I've been looking for. I told you guys I was just looking for something like that. 26.7, 26,000, maybe 600 as the low, and looking for the dot. And there you go. And that should start. Nothing crazy, but a continuation move, grind, get to 30, 31,000, 32,000. I'm still, doesn't change. I said this. I'm of the opinion that 37,200 will be tested by September. Let me get you a good, there you go, Bitcoin index. 37,224, 225, yes. That's what I think. And with this high level, now we have it. And it's a perfect counter HSI signal in a bearish pattern zone. And we've seen that time and time again. We see it in the macro markets right now. Look, this is a type 2 shark. There's your confirmation on the bearish side. It does nothing. It's a dud. And now you have a bullish continuation signal. You break out, okay? And you get above 31,000. Yeah, that's really going to set it off. All right? And it frame it like that, but it could not be more ideal. The check back, the low, the two bullish candles immediately within like a 5-bar range. 27 should be the floor. Amazing action. I'm impressed. So let's go to Ethereum because I've been saying that generally like 1800. Last time we talked on Tuesday should be it, and we checked back. We got the HSI signal, nice high level signal, and today we'll likely get a dot. You need to close above 1870, really. But look, that reaction, as what we said Tuesday, look for this kind of a thing. Come on down and let the air out of the tires, and a nice scoop back up. That's a really nice, just a nice stabilization scoop. Break above the 50 now. You get a bullish close today. Maybe tomorrow we get some continuation, and then into the weekend, it should follow through. This should be an interesting weekend. No doubt. Hey, we're going into the end of the month as well. That's something else. Look on Bitcoin, look on Ethereum, the monthly close. Look, these are, I know, yes, forget yesterday, forget that little sell off, whatever. Go to Bitcoin, go to Ethereum, go to the indices. This close is so critical. That's coming in 3 days. Okay? Now, you want a green bar and you want a close above last month's high. I don't care if it's just wedged or whatever, but hey, bullish close above last month's high, textbook 3-bar continuation on the monthly, and 4 months in a row. That's where acceleration can begin. So don't sleep this weekend. If there was ever a weekend you were going to have your eye on crypto, it's this weekend. Let's go to number 3 on the list, which probably needs more attention now, and that's Binance Coin. Binance Coin's knocking on the door, folks, and I think it too, its monthly close is critical. You want to see it. I mean, of course, ideally, you'd want it above 345. You still have 3 days. This could easily do a pop move with the big breakout above 395, 400. And that's perfect BAM material. I've said that over and over again, where once you make progress here, and I would even venture to say a monthly close above like 350, 355, that starts the process for the 886 retest to 600 and change. It's, connect the dots kind of a thing. XAB, C point, and then D to a bat. Those are minimum assumptions, but that's where it goes. 620. Absolutely in the right position. Doesn't have to moon right now. In fact, you want to see that. You prefer to see it go 4 months, 5 months, grinding higher, and then break, and then do the bust move. But it's there in a position to launch. Number 4, XRP, same deal. Just let it be kind of let this be a lesson on any thrust, any unsustainable mooning phase yet. That's all that was from a couple of weeks ago. Just a pop, let the air out, let's go sideways for a while. I don't think it's going to get anything really below 40. 40 is pretty much your psychological support going forward. Take a look at this. So there's your daily bat pattern. I'm looking for a continuation, a bullish continuation, wherever that may come. And take a look. Nowhere near anywhere on HSI yet for the daily. The other one that I really like, and I don't know if it's going to get down there, but listen, Cosmos is ready to go 2 of 2 on just a massive Gartley, and it's at $9, but we popped off of an HSI recently. That's it. Structurally, I would still wait for $9, because I think if you retest that, this thing can just launch. So keep an eye on that one, because those are the 5. I should show you, though, the total indice. Because total indice has got some things that are, we're not going to show up maybe in individually. But this too generated dots. We had an HSI check back. It's at a high level. And today, with a bullish close, we're going to get a yellow dot. So that helps us to really kind of gauge what happened in the last 10 days, that's just a reaction. And you're looking for this to continue and literally break out. I mean, you could set the whole time frame window here that we are looking at the beginnings of some kind of major move over the next 30 days where you get into the end of May. So, hey, Bitcoin Miami is going to happen here in a few weeks. So you might get some craziness hype up into that. But this early signal, high level continuation tells me it's going to start moving. And you take a look at the indicators on the daily. I mean, they couldn't be in a better spot for bullish continuation. Look, HSI triggered. Today it's confirming, cracking above the 50. Look for that follow through. Literally this weekend. Same deal amplified. It is leading the way. You want to close above 50 and then you shoot the gap up there. And you go from 50 to 70 or above on that retest as you challenge the all-time high. Well, the recent high. Again, it's like 1.2, 1.3 trillion. But that's where it's set to go. The total 3 index. So this was something I've been posting. This is more like for altcoins. Be aware of this bearish bat pattern. Okay, I think we can go back and retest. Come on back. Like check back, retest that 407 level. Before, if I was really concerned about this pattern being, capping the action on the alts anytime soon, I would still want to see a yellow dot. There's no yellow dot there. And if we're just going to hold, notice how we literally hit target 1 and bounced right back. So if we're going to return back up there, just stay range bound, you're going to go right back to retest that 400 billion level. That's going to help altcoins. But it looks like Bitcoin and Ethereum are stronger at the moment. They look like they're in a better spot. One or two more that new stuff. Here's something new for everybody. Okay. I think I mentioned this last week, but it hit perfect and now it's in business. Here's this Axie Infinity. Now, in terms of crypto, go off the Tether pair. I'm looking at patterns like this that have materialized in the last 2 months. And this one's a Gartley, not the prettiest of Gartleys, but software is kicking it out. So the algorithms are true. And that's why we use the program, because the software kicks out a uniform set of identification parameters that defines all the levels that work the same way no matter what the time frame. Right here, you see the hop level at 742 acting like a floor. Yesterday, it kissed that level exactly. 742 was the low. And that's one of several that is exactly a type of altcoin opportunity you should be looking for. You want to see some patterns. You want ideal confirmation. Yeah, there's a ton of crypto to choose from, but you have to get precise like this and really nail it down to stuff like that where, hey, we're in a zone here. I'm looking at that one closely because even in a reaction off the pattern, that's 1060. A couple of more. I think I mentioned this. Waiting on Doge. Go back, retest the shark pattern. And that's around 7 cents. Yeah, who said that? Rob. Yep, Zcash is exactly another one that almost hit the XA level perfectly yesterday. 34.84. Yesterday's low, 34.92. Probably, depending on the data feed, it was real close. Yeah. Binance was 34.7 as the low. XA is 34.4. It looks like this. Remember this? So we got another opportunity here for a lot of these. And Zcash, you know, I think that it has come so close there. I mean, that's almost a perfect type one target one hit. And now you come back down and you're reacting. I mean, that's clear reaction ism, if you will, because that's really what I wanted to allude to today. Is like just noticing that, hey, if this stuff's going to hit levels, and these are true harmonic levels, you got to recognize that early. If it's Microsoft blowing out target 2, if it's something like Zcash hitting a perfect retest of an XA level, then something's going on there. And we have confirmation, so it's not like we're just looking at any structural level. It's a level with confirmation. And we have a check back, and I think we're one day away from a dot. So, a bunch of these really on that big flush yesterday, came back, retested some big numbers. Here's, no, that wasn't the one. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. So remember Render, which was just literally ping-ponging. And I said, 165 before 230. And it did that. And it came back down. And now it did the 2 of 2. Look at Tuesday, because I was saying, look for this down to 165. And I even traced out, said, and then maybe come back one more time. And it did. So you're looking there, Render, that's 2 of 2 of 2. Why? Because it's a back-to-back. Really interesting situation here. All right, and I'm looking at this in terms of if we stall out and something, an amazing, there's type 1 on the big bat pattern. You come back for a type 2. That goes down to target 2. And then returns after giving you confirmation, now going back for another 1 and 2. It's, I know that's a lot of crazy zigzag, but it's as ideal of a harmonic 1-2 framework as you can get. And I'll see what happens here, next 2 or 3 days. If that doesn't roll over and it explodes, it would have to explode right there. It would have to fail on the 2 of 2 of 2, but not with back-to-back patterns. But that's in probably a more final spot, a more, where you're expecting that to fail in a larger capacity than even the reaction from Tuesday. So keep an eye on that one, because I think that's, that's setting up. I have a couple more. Some things on, where do we go? Fetch. Where was that? Oh, I'm sorry. I know what it was. It was that AGIX. This is something, again, another one I talked about last time. Here you go. This one was on a 4-hour. It's down here with the bat pattern, I think. There you go, or crab pattern. Yeah, look, just the point was that this was one that mooned early in the year, and now these are pulling back, giving you plenty of opportunity. That one probably with a double retest, the small crab, big crab, 29.6. Not quite there yet. Oh, here's the one I wanted to mention, Algorand. This is a bigger one where it's, oh, come on. There you go. This is the kind of immediate pattern for crypto T coins I want to see. This will be a 3 ideas, folks, for members. What do you guys see? What do you see here? Beautiful type 2. I mean, again, the 1-2 reaction framework, the continual like ping pong, if you will, has been impressive. And even off the bearish pattern, it was a 1 and bang for 2, and then all the way down to 17.5 cents. You go to 22.2. Now back down, perfect confirmation. You're probably 2 green bars away from that being a substantial structural low point, where minimum objective 25, I would think maybe even as high as 29 to go back, retest that bat one more time. But this pattern with a 2 of 2, and it has formed over the first 4 or 5 months of 4 months of the year, is exactly the kind of pattern you want to position on for going forward into the second half of the year. We have patterns, we have confirmation, they're lining up, they're retesting and reacting right where they should be with confirmation. Again, we're 2 or 3 bars away from that being a full-on reversal opportunity. Keep an eye on that one, and 1 or 2 more. This thing is interesting, and I own a lot of it. Okay, I've been clear that I've longed this down here at XA level, 5.4, and it's a deep crab type 2 that just gave us new confirmation, continuation right there. I've been saying this for a while, 9.918 cents. Basically go to a penny, and then we'll see. How about 1 or 2 I don't own? How about, oh, here you go. Here's a fresh one. Fresh one. I know you guys aren't looking at this, but I am. Ethereum name service. Okay. You tell me. Bat pattern at 1135. Yesterday hit that 886. Almost exactly. 11.24. So we had the check back and confirmation. All that's a little bit higher, around 1180. But that's another immediate pattern. You know, we've got a bunch of these. That's really what I'm trying to show here, where that last sell off from the last couple of days with that Bitcoin getting wrecked for 24 hours set up a bunch of new patterns. They set up a bunch of new patterns, and a lot of them have confirmation. It's a good thing. Better than chasing. And that's what we want to focus our energy on situations like this, where you're at the bottom of the zone. You're not up here trying to buy it. You're down here, where when you're at 11 and change, 1130, 1150, and it's 14 or 15, people are FOMOing at 14, 15, you are out, because we're going to catch that reaction. It's a good one. One more. Yeah, I can look at that. H bar. Oh yeah, it's another one. It's probably some better ones, but hey, these are our lines from long ago on H bar, and essentially under 6 cents. 5.5 has been the floor. It remains to be the floor. This was, isn't this a fat? Sure is. Look at this. So here's the weekly pattern on H bar. Thank you. Who mentioned that? Dave. Thanks, Dave. This is a good one, because this is another sleeper where this latest sell-off in crypto is kind of hitting the bottom end of the long-term range, where that's where, if you're looking to add bags for plays like this, you want to be hitting it on the low end of the range. You know, the weekly range of 5.5 to 6 cents on H bar versus immediately at 9.5, we want 6. Okay, and it's a big pattern looking left here with 886 that completed a year ago, and you have just gone flatline, but that's a good thing. The fact that you have reacted, stabilized at the all-time 886 off that bat pattern, it's a good show. and it's still something where it's a speculative play, like all of these. We're speculating here. Don't kid yourself. It's going to take time, but target one is your objective. If that's 3, 6, a year from now, that's still the play. And you're to the right of the downtrend. So everything we were faced last year when you were over here, you didn't have a chance. A couple of reactions, but you're not going to have a chance when you're swimming under a downtrend. Now over here to the right, you're in a better spot. That's a good one. No, we haven't checked Gala, but I'm willing to because that was something I featured last time. It almost got down, but didn't get all the way to where we wanted to. Remember, 113 at 3.2. That's like Axie Infinity and Ethereum name servers. So this one a little bit lower. It's just the structure. We're waiting for, you're waiting for that secondary confirmation. Meanwhile, S&P new highs of the day hasn't moved much. It's up 52 now. But it's going to be up all day. Evan's saying he's got some Bitcoin shorts. I don't think that's a bad idea if you're trading off of a 5-minute chart, my friend. There's great swings, and I'm glad to see Bitcoin swing up, down 1,500 points, $2,000. Here's a 5-minute chart. Hold on. Wait for some patterns. There's a shark not too long ago. 28.7. Type 1. I think there was some patterns up there, though, on a shorter term time frame yesterday. Wasn't there? What was up there, guys? On the hourly? Don't know. I think 5-minute time frame, though, when you get patterns, is not a bad way to go with it if you're going to trade it, but you still use the levels. There you go. Well, here's from today. There's Coinbase feed. Not bad. Tough, deep crab. And here's some realism. Actually, a beautiful, deep crab, but no confirmation. That's a tough execution. Versus something like this shark, pattern completes, and you get yellow dot. Those are easier situations. Even though that's a beautiful pattern, chances of executing that, I think, are low without confirmation. Ethereum probably moving even a little bit better, especially in recent days. There you go. And this deep crab right at 1863 this morning. Really nice. There was something up here. Don't know. Yeah, listen, guys, we know it's going to be a grind. Bitcoin is going to continue to go up 3,000 and come back down maybe 3,100 or 2,900. But that's all right. At least on the daily, you've registered a similar HSI signal. Okay, there is the same as there and then there. So this is our third daily HSI signal. That's Ethereum since November, and each one of them yielded a nice move, nice continuation. That's what I think we're looking at here. You're early, but check back's already done, and you're going to print some green candles. That's what you need to see. Really quick, before I get out of here, I do want to show things like the crypto miners. Here's Riot blockchain. Now, we had some bearish patterns up here. Okay, almost came back. I was looking for this to go to 983. I mean, it was really close. The low off of that was 1033. But we are generating HSI today. So like the rest of it, that could be the start where It's just saying this is just a reaction. And maybe we don't go to 983. Maybe we just stay in this $10 area, 1050, and then we make a run back up to the zone, retest it. It's one bullish candle away, like one strong candle away on Riot that sends it back down. There's a few of them. The other one was thanks to our friend Costa, Clean Spark. Thank you, Costa. This is look beautiful. This is better. This is better, man. Check this one out, Costa, if you're still in here. It was a perfect crab, and I think you and I talked about this in the Discord. But today, we're checking back, and target one was 396. We're at 384. But look, HSI generated yesterday. We checked back this morning. That should send us back to go retest that zone. Even if you were bearish, you want to see that retest back at 5. Maybe as high as 540. So something's up. Something's definitely up. You know, with all of these in the right position, you know? That's the good news. Is that they've hit what they need to hit, and they're in the right position. Even if it's a bearish setup, it's, you know, a lot of these are just reactions that triggered bullish readings that says, okay, back up. More time. Yeah, check out this miner. Check out the Clean Spark. The other one was Mara. Didn't we have something there? Another HSI check back. Yes, look. All of it classic type 1 behavior. Type 1 Mara with a beautiful deep crab to the top. Look, the dot was perfect. I mean, the dot came in. The next 2 days later, you retest reversal 1231. That's harmonic. This one back down. Now you're going to retest that with HSI. And then, you know, you'll still do 2 more days. But it's telling you reaction's over. And go retest that zone. Which is, you know, all right. Anything down there on a 4-hour or even like a 5-minute. This 5-minute thing is looking for little patterns there. There's a 5-minute zone on Marathon. Hold on. Nothing there. Oh, the last one I've been talking about, and this is a big pattern. So I think this could be the first spot where after that pullback and those kind of bearish patterns, here you go, a bit digital. The reason why we're looking at this is check out the massive pattern. Okay, massive weekly down there ever since $1. So, and this thing is, it's just starting. You know, that's got a ways to go. Target one's 1293. I know that's crazy, but we'll stair step. Notice another bearish pattern. This one maybe needs a little more time. Wish that would have got to target one and then return back up. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, those other ones are probably better than that. That Clean Spark's probably better. Keep an eye on those and keep an eye on crypto. Keep an eye on this macro. I know it's not an easy read to see that, especially with what I really was showing today of things like the QQQ. And this is, let me circle back here now. Because this is, if you're new to the software, okay, we've had videos on this. Check out HSI. We've talked about counter signals. Just understand that this is an important warning sign to the bearish pattern. And clearly, you know, trading 319. I'm looking at this next set of levels where it's not even, you know, it's not up here. It's 329, and it's the next dot, which is still a ways away. Because if this is the low, you got a ways to go. A ways to go. I think 329 within this larger pattern makes sense. And now, because when that fails, this stuff, this price action goes what we call serial, bar over bar continuation. I think we have a real good shot here next 5-7 sessions that we're starting something like this. Breakout, follow through, pause, explode, pause, continue, breakout, pause, continue, that type of thing. 329 is the new number on the hop. We trigger that arrow today. And Microsoft, let's just peek in on that. It's like every day, right? Microsoft up what? Above 302 with that hop level. Keep an eye on 295, folks. 295 for Microsoft. We close there. Easily we'll have a strong close. We'll close above 300 by tomorrow and stay above 300, even stronger. But 295, the fact that that is just such a devastation candle, respect it. And know that that's big for the whole market. All right, listen. I'm going to give out one gold membership for those that are still hanging on here. First person to type in gold, I'm going to give a gold membership away. Appreciate you guys hanging in today. Great session. Understand that this is a big move. And we're going to see the development going forward into tomorrow and as we start the new month next week. So do that. All right, Masters in Trust. I think you won already, but if you won already, you're going to get rejected. Just to let everybody know, if you have won already, then you're not going to get fulfilled. You're not going to get filled. If you won already, Masters in Trust, understand that. So Nicholas Lindy, I know you haven't won before. I'll give you a gold membership, and that includes the gold membership includes the software with TradingView, folks. So get with that. Again, jump over to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member, and listen, if you haven't accessed the trial, send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. We need the levels. You need the software to get the levels that will frame out what the heck's going on. All right, until Tuesday, have a great weekend. We'll catch you then. As always, go get them, and we'll see you next week.